Hello students, during the last lecture we continued the lesson Kingdom Plantae, in which we studied the phanerogams as the seed bearing plants and cryptogams as a non-seed bearing plants. We started with the cryptogams, in which we studied the cryptogams Thallophyta, in which we studied the algae like green algae, brown algae, red algae, then bryophyta, example moss, anthoceros, rixia. Now we shall proceed towards the pteridophyta. Pteridophyta are the first successful land plants because earlier the plants require water, and when they came on the land they required the vascular system. Vascular system means xylem. Xylems are the plants carrying vessels and phloem are the food carrying vessels. So xylem and phloem, when present, they are called to be the vascular plants. Now primitive vascular bundles, for example xylem had tracheids only and phloem has sieve cells. So pteridophyta, example Fern, still they required water for the fertilization, and sporophyte, which is independent diploid showing root, stem and leaves, which developed the gametophyte. The gametophyte shows antheridia as male sex organ and archegonia as female sex organ. If you see the fern, this is the example of pteridophyte. Along the side of the water, these fern are found. They are ornamental and they have the pinnately compound leaves and they have the adventitious roots. Then you can see that when the leaves mature, so on the lower margin you can see the developments of the sorus or sori, which have the sporangium and which liberate spores. When they fall on the ground they produce gametophyte, heart-shaped structure, and this gametophyte has antheridia as male sex organ, archegonia female sex organ. So fern xylem consists of only tracheids and phloem sieve cells. Secondary growth absent means what? The apical meristem, lateral meristem, in which here the lateral meristem means alongside the thickness does not take place, that is the cambium is absent. Then gymnospermy. Gymno means what? Without clothes, without fruit. Seeds are produced but seeds are not enclosed in the ovary, or you can say fruit. So naked seeds. They are evergreen, shrub or woody trees. They are primitive flowering plants. Seeds not covered by fruits. They are vascular plants with tracheids and sieve cells. Again I shall repeat here, vascular means xylem and phloem. Xylem carries water, phloem carries food. So primitive structure means xylem has only tracheids, vessels are not developed, and in phloem sieve cells are produced, sieve tubes are absent. See here this cycas plant. Cycas plant or sago plant. The cycas plant you might have seen somewhere near the in the Kelva, nearby the temple. One female cycas is there. So cycas, male cycas plant is there, female cycas plant is there, and two types of the leaves they will produce: brown leaves and green leaves. Foliage leaves are green and scaly, and the other leaves are membranous. Foliage leaves are green and scaly leaves are membranous and brown. Their economical importance, I told you that it is a sago plant, it is ornamental plant, it produces turpentine, so it is source of turpentine and resin. See here in the picture, this red color, these are the foliage leaves, whereas this brown, they are the scale leaves. So I told you that the life came in water. Simple thallus structure, just like the hair, the bunch of the green hair lying in the water, that is nothing but the algae, and as a water resistant they have got the mucilage covering. Again, as they tried to came on the land, they became moss, still require water for the fertilization, and the body got developed into sporophyte. Sporophyte means generally we call as root, stem and leaves. Gametophyte means enclosing gametes like Antheridia, Archigonia, like this, anther, ovary, Microsporangia, Megasporangia, like this. So like this, in the course of the evolution, successful land plants, I told you that pteridophyta, but after pteridophyta the phanerogams, they came into existence. Phanero means what? Seed bearing plants, and seeds are enclosed into the fruit. So all structures are present like root, stem, leaf, flower, fruit, and it is called to be the angiosperm. Angio means cloth, sperm means seed. This is the most advanced group of flowering plants. Seeds are enclosed in fruit. They are adapted to terrestrial habit. Sporophyte is dominant and independent. Sporophyte means root, stem and leaf. Gametophyte are recessive haploid. I told you Microsporangia and Megasporangia, or anther and ovary. You can see here the flowers. Here is, this is anther. Here you can find ovary. So these are the, on left side female gametophyte, on right side male gametophyte. If you see the structure, male gametophyte, in the pollen chamber, pollens are seen. Further, these angiosperms have been classified in the monocot and dicot. Monocot means what? Seed size only single cot. Example, jowar, bajra, rice, coconut, date and maize. They are generally grassy plants, and the grass does not show, the monocot does not show secondary growth, means lateral cambium is absent or lateral meristem is absent, so secondary growth is absent. The leaves have parallel venation, then the stem is unbranched. Then this is the pea plant. Pea plant means if you open the seed pea, you will find two cotyledons. The stem is branched, then the root system shows taproot system, means seed produce roots. In grass, adventitious roots are present. So dicotyledon, they have secondary growth or cambium is present. Like this, in this lesson we started with pteridophyte, example Fern, gymnosperm, example Cycas, angiosperm, monocot and dicot, monocot grass, dicot you can say as a pea plant. In this lesson you might be asked, write the characteristics of bryophytes, write the characteristics of gymnosperm, write the characteristics of pteridophyta, or give the classification of algae. So like this you have to carry on studying, and whatever the questions have been given below the lesson, you go for solving. You solve multiple choice questions and keep drawing the diagrams. Thank you very much.